Imagine playing the worst chess opening ever, and then using 9 main tactical motifs to turn the tables and win a masterpiece. That is exactly what Carlsen did in this game. He started off with the so-called banned Gambit by sacrificing his rook on a3. Literally, the worst chess opening you can think of, and now white is already dead lost right on the third move. Magnus's opponent, Kacper Perun, is a 2-time national champion from Poland, a strong grandmaster, but the game goes on. So here white continues, attacks the pawn, black guards it, the knight attacks it again, and black defends it. So far, nothing so special. Carlsen keeps horsing around, and then again, white's position is actually dead lost. He's down material, there's absolutely nothing good going on for him, but let me skip the opening phase rather quick, and black is already attacking to see the middle game, because that is where the fun began. So here, queen to d5, black is rock solid in the middle of the board, putting pressure down here, and then solidifies the position, bringing all the pieces into play. Again, there's really hard for white to do anything here. Rook d1, h6, black is super careful, even providing this escape square for the king just in case to avoid any back rank mate issues down the line. Carlsen goes h3, because he literally has nothing to do. His pieces are totally stuck, the queen and the rook, they have nothing to do really. The d4 pawn is perfectly guarded by black. Black is putting pressure. That is why these two pieces can't move. h3. Carlsen is even running out of moves. Queen c5. Now black continues attacking. This time the other pawn. Carlsen guards it. And now rook to d6. I'm not really sure what's the purpose of this move, but anyway, black is totally dominant. And let's see what Carlsen used to turn things around. In fact, Carlsen used 9 tactical motifs that every chess player needs to know, starting with the first one, a pin. Here he moved the queen out, inviting black to capture this pawn on c2, but if black indeed would capture it, Carlsen would shift the queen back to d2, and now the bishop is pinned down to the queen. And if black tries to defend it, here comes one more pin, and now a pinned knight could not defend a pinned bishop. Besides that, there is also sort of a pin on this pawn on c7, and black played rook to e7 to cover that and to free this rook from moving somewhere. Carlsen goes pawn h4, the move that, again, doesn't make much sense, but he's running out of moves. Black goes pawn a5, perhaps solidifying the square for the knight just in case, and Carlsen goes back queen to d2. Black retreats the rook back to d8. Again, not exactly sure what's the purpose, but anyway. Bishop f1. Carlsen is struggling, he's crawling on the first 2 ranks, not really sure what to do. Queen d5. Black is seizing the opportunity to put pressure down this knight, and the knight retreats back. Now, perfectly passive position, down material, and black is totally dominant once again. Black goes knight b4, starting to advance forward. He's ready to play c5 and to cage white's pieces entirely, but that is the moment where Carlsen pulls off the second tactical motif, pawn to c3, leading to this battery. When you pile up your heavy pieces, such as a queen and a rook, or sometimes, such as in this case, a queen and a bishop, to attack your opponent from a long distance. And now queen takes g7 checkmate is coming. Black played f6 to build a wall and to stop it. Knight g4. Carlsen is hoping to destroy this pawn shield, but black is careful. He goes rook d6 and covers the pawn. Carlsen plays queen e3, this time pinning the bishop and maybe threatening something like pawn to f3. Black went queen to e6 to unpin the bishop and also to counter-strike to the white knight on g4, but now Carlsen uses the third tactical motif, castling destruction. He's sacrificing the knight to eliminate defenders of the king. Now the king is uncovered, and although there are no direct threats at the moment, it still looks pretty dangerous for black in general. But right now black goes rook h7 and kicks the queen out, then continues with the same stuff, knight to d5, the queen is pushed all the way back, and white is actually down a rook. However, the black king is exposed, and therefore it's still not easy for black. Black goes knight e7, attacking the queen once again, and also setting a really nice counter trap along the way. He's trying to seduce Carlsen to capture this hanging pawn on a5, but in that case, black was going to use that castling distraction onto castling. This time with rook takes h4. It didn't happen in the game, but that's what black tried to pull off, and that's a really nice combo, threatening this checkmate, and if white captures it, then queen g4, and black finishes the game quickly with just a couple checks. By the way, I gotta mention that Carlsen's opponent is a wealthy rival. He's a 6-time winner of a World Chess Solving Championship. And even though I didn't even know that it exists, it sounds very impressive, and he's probably very good with tactics. Anyway, Carlsen is careful. He goes queen to c3, restoring his battery just in case for the future. Black goes knight f5. Now black still tries to get to the white king with something like knight takes h4, and Carlsen stops that with yet another pin. Black is getting the queen out of the way, but now Carlsen pulls off the fourth tactical idea, a trapped piece. Suddenly the bishop right in the middle of the board got trapped. It's got nowhere to go, as here Black's own pieces are cutting the way out. And now Black played knight to d4, probably hoping for this fork, but that was also a mistake. Black could and should have done the same thing with knight takes g3, threatening the same fork but also grabbing this important pawn along the way. But instead, for whatever reason, he went knight to d4, which now allows Carlsen to trade in the middle of the board, and at the end of the day he grabs this hanging bishop on e4. Maybe while calculating the variation from long distance, Black player did not realize that he cannot take this pawn on e4 because of yet another tactical motif, a fork, with a double attack to rooks, and White is winning the game. Black is careful, he played rook g7 attacking the pawn, and once Carlsen defends it, now only Black captures the central pawn. And the position still looks very unclear. It is equal at best for White, and therefore, to try to win the game, Carlsen still needs to pull off even more tactical tricks. And in general, it's interesting that Carlsen used this weird opening in 11 games in total and still won the majority of them. Here he goes bishop g2, which is a skewer. He attacks a more valuable piece and he wants to push it away so that he can then capture a less valuable piece, or pawn in this case, which stands behind. Once again, Black is careful and plays rook to b4 to guard his pawn and to also attack White's pawn on b3. But now Carlsen uses his trademarked idea called Magnusism, or more commonly known as attraction. He's trying to seduce Black to capture this juicy pawn on b3, because for that he prepared yet another fork which would win the rook. Black is alert and he plays pawn to c6, covering that d5 square so that the white bishop cannot go there. And now, after an exchange of pawns, Carlsen delivers this check and then just solidifies his position. The position actually remains to be about equal, even though Carlsen is trying to push forward, but in general, there are not much material left on the board. a5, perhaps Carlsen wants to play a6, undermine these pawns and attack them after the trade, but Black goes rook a3 to stop that idea, then h5. This time Carlsen is trying to win with the right hook, but Black is still careful, stopping this passed pawn. g4, now Carlsen is just building up this nice pyramid of sort of pawns with one tall pawn in between, and then after a couple more moves he's trying to push forward, but Black is blockading everything. e3, cutting off the third rank, I guess just trying to push his king forward. But now Black also is using a tactical motif of his own, b5. Maybe he was reading your comments and thinking that en passant is forced, which will in that case lose the rook for Carlsen. But Carlsen kept himself cool and instead used another tactical motif known as a counter-attack. A very wealthy idea that we often forget about, because it's very natural for us to be reactive when your opponent is trying to do something such as to push his pawn forward, who starts being reactive and just thinking how to stop that. But instead Carlsen counterattacks this little pawn on c6. And now after another trade, rook takes c6 comes with a check. King comes forward and White does the same, and now thanks to one more double attack, White wins this pawn, and now he's the only one who is pushing for a win. Black is definitely need to be very careful, but nevertheless the position is still not easy for White, and Black is attacking a pawn, White defends it, and now Carlsen tries to attack, but there's not much he can do, and with a couple checks, Black defends the pawn. Now White advances forward and keeps delivering checks. What is the point now? Not sure. Maybe he just wanted to keep the Black king tired. The king is not used to so much cardio. Not sure. Anyway, the rook reroutes, and with some more back and forth, Carlsen finally gets to the point of playing pawn to e4, which is very strong on move 1, but on move 70 is equally strong, and then he keeps pushing forward, this time tries to get the rook out of here, and finally uses the pin motif once again. Black can't take the pawn because it's pinned down to his rook on h6, and therefore he plays king to d5, approaching his king. Now Carlsen's got 3 monstrous pawns on the king side, therefore Black definitely needs to do something about them. He plays rook takes f5, which computer says is wrong, but of course from human perspective it's a very natural move to play, trying to disrupt these pawns. And now rook takes h5, threatening this pawn. It's still not easy at all for White to win. For instance, just pushing the pawn forward does not work. Black simply captures this one, stops the other one, and it's just a draw within a couple of moves. However, Carlsen once again used a couple tactical tricks. He played rook to a6, inviting black to capture this pawn, but that would lose because of this skewer. But the main line is king to e5, just trying to bring the king closer. And after that, pawn comes forward, now black is trying to stop it, and what would you do now? Actually, it is almost a draw, and there is only one winning move for white here, thanks to the final tactical motif, forcing moves. Forcing moves leave no free time to your opponent and allow you to execute the plan that you want, while your opponent has no time to defend. And thanks to this trick, white manages to promote his pawn and win the game. Carlsen can win even with the worst chess opening ever, and if you want to know the best chess opening for white, check it out right here. If you want to level up your chess skill overall, head to this free masterclass up there, and have a great rest of the day.